Welcome to episode 40. We are finally at our midlife crisis of podcasting. But if I were to put an age on podcasting, what the midlife crisis number would be, it'd probably be like around 100. That's when everyone starts getting kind of desperate, or they start to figure out who they really are. That's what I think, But who cares what I think? Welcome to episode 40. Hope everyone's having a great week and a great day, maybe even a great hour. If you're having a shitty day, look forward to the next hour. Write the things that you want to do down. That's a huge thing. If you know how to tell yourself what you want to do next, then you're going to be a little bit more successful. I started with an MIT, and MIT is the most important task of the day, and that's always really fun to do. But I just ventured across the entire mountain this weekend in a Toyota Camry with chains on. So the chains were required, and for everybody who's never put on snow tires, it's kind of a hard thing to do, especially if you don't have like the nice ones. I'm not going to sit here and say it was the hardest thing I've ever done, but it was pretty difficult. I was definitely struggling a bit with it. I had these tires, so you basically just got them, you put them around the wheel, and then you pull them up, and then you connect them here again, and then use the chain, tie them again. So it's like a 3-step process. But this 3-step process seemed like it was like a 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D, 3E, 3F. You know when teachers would be like, here's a question, 1 through 3, and you're like, oh, only 3 questions, and then there's 1A through Z, and maybe some other random letter you've never even heard of. That's exactly what it felt like. So I was all, super excited to get this done, and all of a sudden I was like, it was an hour later, and I was still trying to put these damn chains on. So I got the chains put back onto the car, and then I went up this mountain with the chains, and you hear the chains just every time you're going over it. It's just how they sound. They don't sound just like smooth like a tire. And it was getting me through some thick snow. And I was driving up the mountain, made it all the way up, and then I was coming down, and then I was kind of going at a faster speed. We're probably going 30 miles an hour at this point. And my chain flew off, my right one. And at that point, I was like, well, do I stop and get it? And I didn't even stop and get it. So I did litter. I'm sorry, world. I left my chains up in the mountains, and I didn't have chains on one of my tires going down. And then what do you know? The other one flies off. I pull over like 5 minutes after to see if like they were just tangled up or something, and they were both gone. And I didn't want to pull over farther up in the mountain, because if I would have to try to put those back on, I would have been stuck. I wouldn't have made it home, and I wouldn't have made it anywhere. I would have just been stuck in the mountain without chains. So I continued my journey about halfway there after the mountain, and then I had to just go slow, really slow, and I don't have snow tires or anything. But I did make it here safely. And shout out to all the people who do the snow plowing and all that, because those people, without those guys in like snowy areas, I don't know how people would get certain places. Like, I'm thinking of just walking to the grocery store today, just so I don't have to like worry about crashing, because my car is shitty in the snow. It will get stuck going up a 5-degree incline. Like just a slight uphill, it will get stuck. So I'm not gonna risk it, and I'm just gonna let that go. Snow's pretty cool. I don't mind the snow. I've never really never really was a big fan of it. But as a kid, I did love it. And if you didn't like snow as a kid, what were you doing? Were you inside like drinking hot chocolate, or what were you doing? Because when the snow happens, everyone does a different thing. I feel like you go sledding. Some people do. Some people like to stay in and watch Christmas movies, even though it's not even Christmas. They'll watch maybe a soap drama or something like that. But I was definitely a kid who would go out and play in the snow. I might go play in the snow today, to be honest with you. Get that sled going. Winter break was cool. I actually got to meet some new people in my life, and shout out to them. Obviously, I'm not going to name drop who they are, but really great people and really beautiful people, and just beautiful inside and out kind of thing. Obviously, people here, you're beautiful on the outside, but when you could find someone who you can like actually just talk to, I think that's a little more than pretty to me. But I'm not here to get all soapy. What else do we got here? I I purchased a Rey from Star Wars cardboard cutout, life size. Me and my buddies got it for our house. It's pretty dope, but it scares the shit out of me whenever I turn the corner or whenever I'm walking around the house, because it's a like a person standing there in a cardboard version. So we got the Rey version, the Star Wars, Star Wars Rey. I really love the new Star Wars, by the way. I already talked to you guys about that last time, but I did get a cardboard cutout of Rey. She's awesome. Rey's cool. I think the new Star Wars is probably one of the better ones. It's still second to Revenge of the Sith, though. But my favorite football team lost in the playoffs yesterday, and that's still kind of bummed about that. I kind of woke up and I was like, I can't believe we actually lost. It kind of hit me. But, you can't win them all. Baltimore, you'll get them next year. Lamar Jackson's still very young, and they got a team that could very well be developed. But have you guys ever been on a snow hike? Like gone up to the mountains in the snow? That would be cool. I wouldn't want to die up there, though. Like, I would want to just enough snow not to die. But, like, at the level we're getting right now in the town I live in, I'd probably die up in the mountains. But without it, how do animals survive up there? I guess they hibernate, and I guess they kind of, like, have their thing when the snow happens. But, like, do they get butthurt when it snows? I guarantee you animals get butthurt when it snows. Except for, like, dogs, because they love it. But, like, animals that live in the mountains when it snows, when they're not used to it, they're probably like, fuck, man. They don't got no coat. They don't got no boots. They got to just deal with it. They got to, like, burrow through shit. I would be super upset if I was an animal and it snowed. Because, like, you could shake it off. But, yeah, the fur helps them. But, like, still, they're still getting wet. And they're still having to find food because all the stuff they eat is probably under that snow. Like bugs or, all the... It probably messes things up maybe. But a lot of the big predators like to hibernate during these times. So I get that. So maybe that's how they avoid it. But I would be totally butthurt. Just as butthurt as when I was in elementary school and I was swindled to buy Russian candy. Did anybody else get swindled to buy Russian candy when the candies were just Zots? Dude, I thought these Russian candies were like the best candies I've ever had, and then I brought them home one time to show my mom, and my mom's like, yeah, those are Zots. And you can get the Zots at the dollar store, like 100 of them for $1. And these Russian kids were selling this Russian candy for like $10 a bag. And it was like half the bag I could get at the dollar store. I mean, shout out to their entrepreneur-ness at a young age. But I was definitely swindled. And I'm still kind of butthurt about it. But what can you do, The candies and it lost its magic. Have you guys ever heard that? Where somebody goes like, yeah, never meet your heroes, it might lose its magic. I've thought about that sometimes. Like the people I really want to meet and work for are, and I finally meet them and I don't like them. It'd be such a letdown, but it'd be kind of humbling too at the same way, because you get to see them and then you're like, wow, they actually have flaws and they're a person too. And it's not like it's all like they're just like this god you've like put this on a pedestal. So like I think that's kind of cool in its own way as well. What else has been going on? I had a Ford Explorer behind me and it wasn't a cop. And if you have a Ford Explorer and you're not a cop, I dislike you like heavily, because it's always the people who aren't cops. They always get the roof rack and they always get like the double rear view mirrors or whatever the mirrors on the side. They always make their car look just like a cop car just to be a dick. I guarantee you, like, their Ford Explorer came stock without all that shit, and they're like, yeah, I want to add a sunroof that looks like a light bar, and then I want to add another mirror on top of the mirrors, and then I want to get tinted windows. Because I think it's just me, and they not diet. They get it black, and they just drive around on your ass just to be an asshole. So if you have a Ford Explorer and you're not a cop, go return it and get a slug bug or some shit, man. That's what I always wanted, a slug bug as a kid. I really did want one, like really bad. But then I grew up and I realized I didn't really want one. I didn't want one. But I don't really have any boots right now to go in the snow, to be honest with you. I think I might have some in my car, actually. I might have just lied to you. But I was just outside looking outside at the snow, and there's somebody walking around in shorts, and we all know that person who just won't wear pants ever. And they love walking into the room and being like, yeah, I'm wearing shorts, and I'm not even cold. Dude, put some sweats on, or pajama pants on, some long johns, put some fucking, I don't know, maybe some overalls, because right now you're annoying everybody in the room. I get cold, dude. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't get cold. But I'm not going to go walk in the room and be like, yep, not me. I don't get cold. When you've seen them wear pants before, but like when it's cold out, they just do that shit for attention. That stuff is the most annoying shit I've ever heard. Put some long socks on and some pants, dude. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you're not cold. I especially don't. I really do not care. You know what else I do not care for? Creepy dudes that just hire women at their jobs, like the managers. If you're a creepy dude and you just hire strictly younger women that are pretty just to like game on them when you're like 50, you're a creep. You're a creep. That is just point A to point B. You're a creep and nobody likes you, because this is how it goes. The creepy manager dude will hire this girl. He's super cool. And he starts being a little weird. Like, yeah, I'm turning 34, which is a lie. And then I was just wondering if you want to get all the girls and go bowling on me. And he's like 50, and they say, no, I have a boyfriend. And then they get mad and like never schedule them hours. You're a creep, and you're a weirdo, and you should be, I don't know, find a hobby. Find a hobby, weird dude. Find a fucking hobby. Go to Hobby Lobby and fucking look at the second word of that title and just think about what hobby you're going to get. Go to Bed Bath & Beyond and find a new soap, or maybe even go to Walmart and walk down an aisle you've never been down before, because right now you're being a creep. And everybody's ever been in that situation, they're like, yes, I totally had a creep. And there's totally good people out there too. I understand that. But if you're being a fucking weirdo and you're like just hiring them, like, dude, you should just really go get some friends. I think that's what it boils down to. I think that's what it really boils down to. But I was talking to some people who listen to the podcast in person and over the phone too. And they were saying they fall asleep to the podcast sometimes. So if you're in bed right now listening to me, shout out to you. That's cool. I want to say thanks for that. But I was told I was in someone's dream because of like what I was talking about, and then the dream happened. That was super cool. Like, that's a cool compliment. Like, someone would be like, hey, you were in my dream. Mostly every time somebody says you were in my dream, it's mostly a good thing. I haven't really heard someone say, yeah, you were in my dream and you're a total fucking asshole and you were a dick. But most of the time, it's pretty cool. But for you to be going to bed after your long-ass day and you to turn on DJP episode 40 and be falling asleep, right on. And for the people who are falling asleep, and maybe the people who are driving, what you should do is you're probably unclench your jaw, remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth, and relax your shoulders. Just try that right now. Remove your tongue from the top of your mouth, so put it lower. Let your shoulders hang loose, and just deep breathe. Airplane mode on. I've done that a lot, actually. Not putting airplane mode on, or when you get a call and you really just don't want to answer it and you just got to let it ring. Apple, we've definitely done some cool things and some awesome software updates, but can you please remove it for when someone's calling me that I could just go throughout my phone? Because sometimes I don't want to be too rude and just hang up, but sometimes I just want to fucking not listen to the ring the whole time. And if I didn't pick up after the third ring, hang the fuck up. Nobody wants to talk. If it's after 3 rings, you hang up. They're obviously busy. Everybody has their phone in their pocket and or hand. Maybe it's downstairs when they're doing the dishes or they're in the shower. That's about it. Other than that, everybody has their phone in their hand. So get the message and just know I just put my phone down and went and did something else because I didn't want to answer your phone call. Fuck, man. Hate when people call me when I don't want to call them. But I'd rather someone call me than text me, though. I'll say that out loud. But yeah, you know, back at school and super excited to get things going and yeah, really happy. What else has been going on? Not much. It's been a really, really chill winter break, to be honest with you guys. And I'm really thankful for that. I really am thankful for having a blessed life enough to say that everything is going well. And everybody that I know and love for is in good health right now. Some people are going through some stuff, but they're going to get through it. I'm really confident in the hospitals we have nearby. Just in the state in general, we have really good healthcare and really good doctors here. But it's insane. I also was reading up on a story that doctors get death threats more than you would think. And because doctors, you know, they're the ones that tell you, hey, we can't prescribe you that. Say someone comes in, my head hurts, and they want Oxy. The doctor's like, no, I can't. You're obviously lying. And then these people will say, I'm going to kill you then. You know, it's like some drug dealers will go into pharmaceutical places and ask for these things, and they'll say, no, we can't give you that. And then they get butthurt, and then the doctor's like, I'm out of here. So some doctors move places. And that could be in higher income places, lower income, medium income places. It happens everywhere. But there's nothing better than being home and doing the things you like to do. Being back in the home studio just feels great. You know, I got my desks, got my desk A, desk B over there. I'm thinking about getting an iMac just to edit better on, but we'll get there. You know, we're not in the rush to do all that. But I've been looking at TikTok lately. TikTok looks I like TikTok. I mean, I would love to hate on it, but it's a cool app. You know, it allows younger people to have fun, and it's simple and it's easy. That's what's cool about TikTok. And I feel like a little bit of an older person on TikTok now, though. I'm 22 years old, and like there's like 15-year-olds dancing, and obviously I just keep scrolling after I see that, but I feel a little old. You know, I'm 7 years older than some of these people, or 8 years, or maybe even. But, you know, I guess that's on every app, but it just feels a little more weird because they're, like, dancing. So, like, I got to find, like, the funny sports ones or something like that. That's what I look at TikTok, or, like, the dog ones. Like, there's some funny dog TikToks, by the way. But I shouldn't look at it like that because then then that's weird too. But, yeah, I think TikTok's, it's innocent fun. It's a song, you dance to it, and you do it. I wonder who's going to buy them, though. I think someone will eventually buy them. My money's on Snap buying them. But as soon as TikTok becomes like their own platform and they don't let you share it to other places, then I think that's when they'll become bigger. But them doing that, like sharing to Instagram, share to Facebook, share to Twitter, you know, all those things, that made them huge. Because you'd be on Snap and it'd be like TikTok, and you'd be like, I'm not going to click on that. But then eventually now you're like, okay, I'll check it out. Man, I gotta get on the grind on these like new apps. Because like Charlie D'Amelio, she's like the biggest person on TikTok right now, and she's not even 16, and she was just posting her on TikTok. And then you look at Vine and all the people who got big off Vine, like, fuck, I should have just double down on TikTok. But I didn't. It's okay. You win some, you lose some. Same for the Ravens. It's okay. We'll get them next year. What else is going on? I don't really know. Not really much going on. But I do want to let you guys know I'm so thankful for you guys listening to the show. And episode 40 has been episode 40. I don't know if I've owned 40 of anything. I mean, Weekly Take, my last podcast I hosted, did get up to about 49 episodes. But I haven't eaten 40 things before. Actually, I have. I don't know if I've eaten... I don't know if I've done something like 40 times. Yeah, I guess I've wiped my ass 40 times. Brushed my teeth about 40 times. Maybe 30. And then... No, I should say 40 times this year. I don't know if I've done anything 40 times this year. I haven't even woken up 40 times this year. Maybe it might be cutting close. I've taken some naps. I've opened about 40 doors. None of them led to Narnia. Fuck. I've always wondered that. Like, maybe every time... Have you guys ever wondered that? If you open a door, maybe it will lead you to Narnia. Maybe you'll go into a different universe. I'm a heavy believer in aliens and a lot of stuff like that. And not really like the conspiracies so much, but definitely aliens. Because you look at some things and how was that made back then? Obviously they had slave power, and if you have 10,000 dudes working, men and women and even kids building a pyramid for food, they're definitely going to get shit done. So that always kind of debunks what I always think about aliens, but they're so perfect, and the geometry and the math behind it's insane. I almost feel like we were smart to an age, and then we just were dumb. Like we got wiped out or war happened, and I felt like maybe around year 1000, like we had shit figured out. And then like year 1100 to 1400, like we were dumb. But I don't know, I guess the Great Wall was built around that time, I think. Maybe 9/11 was around then. I'm joking. It's not a funny joke, by the way. Yeah. Let's end on that, because some of you guys will probably get really butthurt after that 9/11 joke. Get over it. It's the context. So right now it is 10:46 a.m. January 12th, 2020. Like my vision. See you guys next year. Oh my God. Oh wait, one more thing before we go. I've been bowling and playing Monopoly a lot over break, and I look to my left and look to my right before I go bowl, because I don't want people next to me when I bowl, because I need to focus. But every time I look over and I see a girl bowl, they all bowl the same. And I know girls, I'm not the best bowler. I probably look just as goofy, but every girl I've ever seen bowl, they do this. That's their bowl. Like they don't even look like they're trying. They're just Obviously, there's professional bowlers that are super good and they have the form, and I probably look ridiculous because I run up there like I don't know. I run up there like a deer that just got his legs. I'm like, that's what I look like when I go up there. So I probably look ridiculous, but every girl I've ever seen bowl, they bowl the same. They just walk up there and they just There we go. Let's end on that higher note right there. Anyway, January 12th, 2020. We are available on all social media platforms except for the government website, Pornhub. We're not on that. And we're also not on those are about probably the only two we're not on. And Stitcher podcast, we're not on that. But we are on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, SoundCloud, Google Play, Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, and no Snapchat. yet. I'm thinking about making one of those just so I can delete my personal one and just have the DJP podcast. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and have a fantastic day.